easy, baby.
It's 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 easy, baby.
Oh, I was muted again. What up, though, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Eazy. We are live, my man Jay from Let's Talk Lions, and we're here to break down the Lions roster, the 53-man. There's actually some news that broke just before we went live, Jay. I don't know if you've seen by chance. Darren Fells was released.
I did see that.
Yeah,
dude, it's insane. It's the fact that TJ Hawkinson's our only tight end at this point.
It's so confusing because, like, I know we're about to be really run heavy, so I figured
Yeah.
we'd have more tight ends than receivers in that instance, but it's just obviously not the case. I'm really curious. I literally just saw that. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Threw me off. All right, yeah, real quick reaction to that one. What do you think the game plan is for that? Like with
I'm not gonna lie, watching that happen, watching that unfold right off the bat is so perplexing to me. There's an aspect of it where I'm like, okay, Dan Campbell, head coach, obviously a tight end, right? A former tight end.
Yeah.
So what is he looking for specifically? Because obviously Darren Fells didn't have it. Darren Fells, a veteran, somebody who's been in the league for a while. I do find it quite fascinating that they would allow him, that they would take him on the initial 53-man roster and then one day later already move off of him. So they obviously have somebody in mind who's probably going to be let go from another team waiver wire here soon.
Yeah, that's got to be the case. And I'm looking too. I don't really see anyone who's like a name per se. And like, dude, I thought Fells was at least serviceable as like a red zone threat or something. Like maybe he wasn't the best blocker and whatnot.
Sure.
Like, I'm lost right now, man. I'm trying to pull up some free agents too. I'm not.
No, and that's a good point in the red zone, because even like in the preseason games, you know, we kind of saw him, especially against Indianapolis right at the end there, kind of making that entrance in. I don't know. It's pretty wild to me. Because Eazy, if TJ Hawkinson goes down, who do we have at the tight end position?
Yeah.
It's Hawkinson. It was Fells, then Tanamana, however you say his name, you know.
Kudos to you. That was great. That was I'm impressed.
You got him, and then Hunter Bryant. So both of those guys are on the reserve.
Yeah, I see Tyler Eifert on there. Like, I know when healthy, he's a beast, but he's never healthy. I don't suspect he's the target. And there must be someone else coming off of a roster. Jordan Reed's a free agent. I did not know that. I mean, he's solid when healthy. You know, the guy who battles the injuries, though.
Interesting.
There's
nothing that sticks out to me where I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to sit back, see what Campbell does here. Kind of a weird one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know Brad Holmes, comes from the Rams, and they do a lot of like unorthodox things. Like, they don't give a shit about draft picks. It seems like at least
You're
first
right.
rounder. Yeah, So like, I don't know. This is different. I'm waiting for some news. Maybe I should text Corey. Maybe Corey knows what's going on with that.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. I think what is so fun, I think it's truly, that's the best word I would use. What's so fun about this year is we can't use the phrase "same old Lions" because it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's different, man, and it feels so good. Even if all this goes up in flames, like a Coldplay song, it's at least fun.
No, absolutely. And shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Man, one funky Lions fan in the building. Looney Tune. Go Lions. I appreciate you guys. If you guys see any news on Darren Fells and what's going on with this situation, please let me know. One funky said, we don't need a tight end because we're going to live off in 4 receiver sets. Oh, wait. Nice. Speaking of receivers, did you get to do any diving into what's his name? Something Benson? I can't think of it.
Trinity Benson?
Trinity Benson.
No, I haven't done a deep dive into him yet. Really, all I saw was the initial, him as an undrafted free agent, him coming up. He's in Denver. We see him this preseason, all that he was able to put together. It's enough where the Lions said, all right, we're going to trade for you. So definitely have to do more work, more digging into that. It's a very fascinating one. I did see our practice squad. I don't know if you saw, they listed out 15 guys officially signed. And one of them being Javon McKinley, the other being Sage Surratt. So it's good to see those wide receivers on the practice squad.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Give me 1 sec. Actually, just set some reverb there. I'm gonna share the screen too, so we take a look at this practice squad. Here we go. Yeah, that Darren Fells thing just threw me off. New kicker, Austin Siebert.
Yeah.
I didn't get to take a look at his stats yet.
I'm pretty sure he came from Cincinnati.
And did he? Yeah, it was like Cincinnati or Cleveland or something. But like, is he good? Is he solid? Or like, what's this?
Again, honestly, I have to go through because today, I put out the video about the initial 53-man roster. So I haven't even looked at Siebert. I've seen some things, people being like, yeah, he's a solid kicker. He obviously went there, competed, took Bullock's job. It seems like we take Bullock and then that doesn't work out, which the whole kicker thing is fascinating to me. First of all, I loved Prater. Loved. And you look at Prater's stats, I don't know why we let him go. I really don't. Prater had statistically his worst year in Detroit since 2014. However, he was kicking 75% completion percentage through the uprights. Like, it really wasn't that bad of a year. I wish we signed him for at least one more year.
Yeah, and the thing too, like you look at his contract, the guy with AZ, it's not even, I think it was like $6 million over 2 years. Like
over 2 years.
Yeah, it wasn't like he's breaking the bank. Is like we definitely could have brought him in. I don't even understand why, that wasn't done or considered. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Weird. I'm looking for Siebert stats. I'm not really seeing much on stats, but I mean, hopefully, here he goes. His career, Siebert has made 81% of his field goal tries, 31 of 38, but just one of the 3 kicks plus 50 yards.
Okay.
4 games for the Bengals last season.
So he was a Bengal. That's funny. 2 Bengals kickers coming to Detroit.
Well, hopefully they're damn good at kicking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit. Anyone else in the Miles Brown? I'm glad we got Elliott. Sorry, I'm just
we obviously brought back Zane Gonzalez on the practice squad, because we had brought him in a couple weeks ago. Didn't pan out. So there's going to be a kicking competition going on in this next week, heading into week 1 against San Francisco. Is wild.
It is wild, especially like one guy like we just know from tape. We never actually even had him in, and we were confident enough to drop everyone and just grab him.
That's wild.
It is wild. How do you feel about the Craig Reynolds getting let go?
All right, so what's really tough about Craig Reynolds is I love a good underdog, man. Like the underdog story is always the one that I'm going to root for. So seeing him come in, affectionately known as Netflix, everything he was able to do in the preseason, what he was able to give us, the story was so fun. It was so cool. However, obviously, whatever our coaching staff saw, Reynolds wasn't going to elevate our team this year quick enough. However, I love that we brought him back onto the practice squad. That's huge. So there's the element of, man, I really wish that he had made it similar to Tom Kennedy. However, I'm really glad that our coaching staff was able to say, listen, maybe not this year. We're going to put you on the practice squad. We'll see how things roll. Because listen, running backs go down and they go down hard. It's good to have them.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing too. Like for me, it's just he had that it factor for me. The fact that he came in there with not even a full week of practice, just meeting his teammates in the huddle, and to perform the way he did. I get it against the 3s and the 4s, but that's an it factor. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something there. But again, we're not there in practice every day. But we did see him perform well, and more than just one game too. So that's
honestly, man, you put that perfectly. That's such a good way to put it. The intangible of he showed up the day, like he's meeting guys on the sideline. and then going out there and weaving in and out, putting up 49 yards. And I'm like, yeah, that's an intangible. You're right. Good point.
Yeah, I was kind of butthurt by that one. I'm not going to lie. Now, there's one of these gentlemen I know was moved from a safety to the running back position.
Yes, Godwin Igwebuikwe. I think that's how you say his name.
Okay.
His last name. Yes, he was a DB. We end up moving him from the safety position over to the running backs position, and he hasn't played running back since high school. So for him, he has he's got the knowledge of it. He's played it before, but I love that he was like, yeah, you see the phone ring and it's coach. And you're like, oh God, like I'm getting cut. And then next thing you know, he's like, hey man, we want you on the other side of the ball. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool seeing that story. Cause he's our RB4 at this point.
Yeah, there's gotta be something there. Like I don't know, like what do they love about him? Is it his speed? Is it? I mean, he's 6 foot. Maybe he's a big boy. It's just I don't know. There's a little bit of stubbornness in keeping him over Reynolds, and the fact that they made him change positions. Or
True.
I
True.
don't know.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, what did Anthony Lynn as the OC see in him versus Reynolds? What is it between the two guys where he's able to look and say, I'm going to choose A over B? I'd love to get into that mind. I'm trying to get in that locker room and just I would love to talk to some of these guys.
For sure, especially I like Allen too, because he's been around the game for like a long time. He's played it, he played the running back position. Like I'm really excited for to see how our rushing offense is this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that's the one I know Sewell's been like nitpicked throughout the preseason. I think it's been more so on the pass blocking and not so much like running wise. I'm seeing some pancakes out there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. No, and you know what, man? I mean, I know it's kind of a little off topic, but you brought up Sewell. What's so difficult for me is a lot of people are, like you said, they're nitpicking. They're hitting them kind of hard, but I think people got to remember, he is going from the left tackle position to the right tackle position. No easy feat. And even if Sewell was our left tackle going into the NFL this season, it's going to take weeks of actual season gameplay for him to be what we need him to be. So now doing that on the right side, that's intense. And that's what the preseason is for, getting those reps in.
Yeah. Throw in the year and a half of inactivity as well. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got to break into character.
That's a great point. Forgot about that. Yeah. I sat out.
Yeah. I mean, run wise, I'm excited to see, because again, even when Anthony Lynn was in with the Chargers as the head coach, I felt like every time like Melvin Gordon went down, or like Justin Kelly, if anyone plays fantasy football, like you knew that next man up always kind of provided and would almost like just fill the role like seamlessly. So I guess I have some faith in him moving Godwin over Reynolds. I don't know. I felt something special about Reynolds.
Yeah. And you know what? And that's where Eazy, it's awesome. Like, I'm so thankful he is on the practice squad, because, DeAndre Swift right now, he's obviously got he had a groin issue. So somebody along the way could go down. And if Reynolds is putting in those reps on the practice squad, we could really see him. We could see him on the field this year. It's possible.
Yeah. And then back real quick to the Darren Fells thing. I apologize just because I'm like reading as we're talking. What move do we make? Like, because I know Cadero Hodge and Austin Siebert we brought on like through yesterday, but like Fells must have been part of that. That's the only way to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Still like, what are we doing? Who's exchanging? Because there's no way we're going into the season with one tight end.
Yeah, no, it is a little, it's weird. I'll just say, man, it's weird. And I'm kind of waiting for this one I did not expect the tight end room to be something that I'd be worried about this close to the wire. Like this close to the season is really the wide receivers was on the mind of like, oh God.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like, I'm wondering, and I'm thinking this now, like, is it due to Holmes' lack of experience, or is this like a next level thinking kind of like moving around,
Good question. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. What's up, my man? Spirit of Detroit, Avery in the building. So what's up, y'all?
Good guy right there.
Hell yeah. And thanks for serving, man. Serving the Army. Gonna sign them back. It's just so I can put people on IR. Okay, that makes a little more sense. Do you have an issue with us carrying 3 quarterbacks into the season? Because I know some people did. I'm not really on either side.
I'm gonna say no. I don't have an issue with that at all. Very specifically, I look at, first of all, Tim Boyle really let me down.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I expected so much of him. Everything that we saw, everything that we had heard from him out of Green Bay, it felt like there was really something there. And through these preseason games, it has been more than lackluster. It's been like you're eating like a lemon lollipop and you're like, you should be better. Like, be sour or something. You're just not good enough. But like Tim Boyle just didn't have it. So David Blau really stepped up. But I look at both of those backups, they're just mediocre at best. And so unless Goff can really take the reins, I don't know. The QB room could be, we got a lot of work cut out for us. I don't have a problem with 3 to answer the question.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either, too, especially you look back on last season where I think it was Denver at one point had to start like a backup running back at the quarterback position, due to the whole COVID thing. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that's the game plan there.
Yeah.
I don't really have an issue with that. I know some people were beefing over that. I don't. I
Yeah.
really, yeah. The tight end thing, I'm looking over there now. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the roster as we're speaking.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, Terrell Williams, Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Quintez Cephas, Trinity Benson, and Tom Kennedy. It is what it is. I mean, I don't really know. There's not much to speak on there. We're just going to.
What's tough about in my opinion, the wide receiver room is like, we go from whatever anybody's feelings are in the chat, whatever your feelings are towards Kenny Golladay, and kind of what transpired last year and whatever, Marvin Jones. The one thing is when those guys were out on the field, they were balling. And so now you come into this 2021 roster where it is just like the classic emoji where the guys like that, like that's what it feels like. I'm just like, I don't know. Terrell Williams sat out all 2020. He's our expected wide receiver 1. Brashad Perriman was our expected wide receiver 2, and the boy just took $2 million and ran, isn't even on the roster. So it does well up a lot of fear in that category. Amon-Ra St. Brown, we have a lot of youth in the wide receiver room. You look at St. Brown, you look at Cephas, it's his second year. Tom Kennedy, he was a lacrosse player. He's been on the practice squad since 2019. Like, a lot of young, inexperienced men on the wide receiver, in the wide receiver position for us.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you saw it too. Our man Brashad Perriman just signed with the Bears, so I hate that he's taking our offense, knowledge of our offense over to the division rival. But
you know what? Chicago can have him. They can have him.
Yeah, they can.
Unless imagine he pops off for Chicago. That would be quite infuriating.
It'd be very infuriating, especially because if Justin Fields is also part of that equation, that'd be pretty fucking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how do you feel about Justin Fields?
I'm nervous, man. I'm not gonna lie. I am nervous. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
The kid looks nice. I look back throughout the history of just being a Lions fan. Like anytime we faced an athletic quarterback who could like run on us, they've always been an issue for us, man.
Yeah.
Always. I think the only time we ever shut one down was when we got that win against RG3 in Washington. It was like the first time in a bunch of years. I just want to think of because I remember like Christian Ponder tearing us up, and he's not Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that's like what scares me. His ability to move on the feet as well.
Right. Especially look at our linebackers have struggled for years. Now, I know it's a totally different defensive scheme since Matt Patricia, but for the last 3 years, linebackers, defense in general has just been brutal. So, yeah, that is a fear with a mobile quarterback saying, how do our linebackers, how does our D-line, how does everybody react to such a type of quarterback?
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is like looking at our defense, I think that's our weakest group is the linebacking core.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not starting the season, so maybe he didn't look too great in camp. Maybe we don't see him till next year, and hopefully by next year we have something to address that.
True.
Mobility of it. Shout out to everybody in the chat too. My man Hatter's house is in here. Ryan's reaction. Hey, thanks for the $2, man. I appreciate that. He said Jalen Green doesn't subscribe to Eazy. Are you a basketball fan?
I'm not a basketball fan. No.
We'll have to hit it. We'll hit a game this year, man. We'll
Dude, that'd be. You know what? The thing about basketball, it's call me crazy. It's the noise. I don't like the squeaky shoes on the wood.
Yeah,
and then the buzzer, and I'm like, oh, okay. But you know what? I'd go. I'd make a good time out of it.
We'll get you drunk enough not to care. That'd be
yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go.
We said we got Hodge. Kennedy's days are numbered.
Hodge, is that the guy from Cleveland? I think we may have picked up a wide receiver today.
Yeah,
from Cleveland.
That's Cadero Hodge.
Okay,
that's how you say. Maybe Cadero. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's Cadero. I'm not familiar with his body of work, to be honest with you. I don't. I can pull him up right now, actually.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. All I know is I think he came from Cleveland, but I don't know much about the guy.
I saw a tweet today. It was like you could throw a random name, in the grouping of the Lions wide receiver room, and you probably wouldn't even be able to tell that guy didn't belong there.
That's fair. Yeah, unless you're doing what we're doing, yeah, you probably just wouldn't know.
Facts. Let's see. Cadero Hodge, wide receiver. Let me share the screen so you guys see what's going on too. Let me just close out all these dirty sites real quick.
I see somebody in the chat said that Tavai is with New England. Is that real? Is that true?
Yeah, he signed.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Matt Patricia, unbelievable. What a joke. You can have him, Matt.
Yeah, you guys would have him. Signed to their practice squad, though, is what I think the scenario is. So not officially on the roster, but the practice squad nonetheless. Which I'm curious to see what comes of that, because if they can make something of them,
hey, good for them.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, whatever.
It's tough, man. I'm like, I want the best for Tavai as an individual, but God, did he hurt us for years.
Did my internet go out? Still there?
Yeah. I'm here.
All right, cool. All right, Cadero Hodge. I'm looking limited action. As far as like regular season games go, but in limited action, only one game started. But yes. Oh no, I was reading that wrong. Thought I saw some touchdowns there. There's 0 touchdowns. Another young guy.
Another young guy. Inexperienced.
So John Brown is on he's chilling, man. He's looking for a job. Like, why aren't we grabbing him?
Speak easy. You called it, man. Give us John. Give us Smoke Brown. I want him so bad.
Yeah, man. At least some.
Is he looking for too much money? What's the deal? Because you look at him in his he's first of all, 7-year vet. I mean, with Buffalo, I think 2 years ago, it was either 2 years ago or last year. I want to say 2 years ago, he had 72 receptions, 1,060 yards. Like, the guy put up stats, and I understand that his production went down in Buffalo due to their wide receiver core, bringing in Stephon Diggs, whatever, Gabriel Davis, all these guys. Give us Smoke Brown.
Yeah. I don't at least the experience in the locker room, let's learn from this guy.
Yeah. He's fast. He's great separation. Like, I look at Smoke and I want him. I don't know why we're not making the move. Hopefully it's money related.
Yeah. It is also disappointing too, because I feel like, in golf, I'm not trying to discredit him and what he's done, but I don't think he's the most accurate guy. And I feel like that speed can really help him, because he's not going to be able to throw guys open or, hit those small pockets that we may have seen Stafford do in the past.
That's Stafford. Yeah, Stafford did. He was able to thread the needle, man.
Very disappointing. My man, Luke. What up, though, Luke? Luke G in the building. Luke, if you know anything about our tight end situation, man, feel free to let us know, because I'm scratching my head, man. I'm trying to figure out what's going on over there. Speaking, so we'll carry on throughout the roster. I keep pausing and talk about random shit. I apologize.
Hey, man, dude, don't feel bad.
Who do you expect to be? I mean, obviously Terrell Williams. Who do you expect to be, I guess, number one out of that receiver room?
It has to be Terrell Williams. It has to be. I mean, he has the most experience. He's got great stats underneath him. I think he's a guy who is underrated coming into this year simply because he missed out on 2020 due to a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
So when I look at Williams, I'm like, you should be theoretically wide receiver 1, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So but it's also weird to be like, man, if he goes down, what's next? Quintus Cephas, maybe? Amon-Ra St. Brown shows a lot of promise. However, he is a yearling. He's a young buck who has 0 experience in the NFL. And even watching him in the preseason, some balls that he dropped that I'm like, as Madden once said, it hit your hands. Got to catch it.
Yeah. Yeah, because his first outing, he looked great. And then you saw the rookiness, the greenness of him, the following game. I didn't get to watch our last preseason game, and I was in Cleveland, and my YouTube TV was not having it. I was pretty upset about that.
It wasn't much to see. It was pretty brutal.
All right, cool. Good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of these comments too. We good. They did this before with Logan Thomas. I think they have options, and we'll bring back Fells. What about Marlowe? Yeah, so safety Marlowe was part of that as well. I'm assuming he comes back too. I just don't. Oh man, let me scroll down to this secondary.
Yeah, I was bummed about Marlowe leaving. He was an acquisition that we made in the offseason that I really liked. I think Dean Marlowe offered a lot of potential. A lot of these guys, that's what it kind of feels like. It's like the potential's there. can we tap it or not, you know?
Yeah.
And that's Dean Marlowe, a guy who played for Carolina, Sean McDermott. Then Sean McDermott gets the job in Buffalo. So then he goes to Buffalo. He kind of gets a couple reps, special teams, whatnot. We bring him here, and it felt like he could really be an asset to us. But yeah, bummed about that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to look into like what positions were crowded at that I see more tight ends coming into play or Fells maybe returning. Let me see. Let me share the screen real quick too. Give me one sec. Which page was I using?
Yeah, and that's, you know what, I see somebody in the comments, Dustin Hargis, he mentioned, you know, the whole team being young, they're going to grow together, and that's definitely true. Yeah, that's so much of what a rebuild is, right? It's not about finding those sexy picks that are out, like way out on the tree. You're trying to actually grow the tree. You're not just looking for the fruit right away. We're trying to grow this thing from the bottom up, and I think finding the youth, it means that this year is going to be rough, a lot of growing pains, but 2022, 2023, like there is good to come.
For sure, man. And I see like we're letting go like some of these older guys. I think we have like the second or third like youngest roster in the league.
Yes.
As of yesterday. And like, hey, you know, if we keep Goff, if we don't, you know, if that contract comes off the books along with the other ones we cut this year.
Yeah.
You know, we're able to shop in free agency. We're gonna have 2 first-round picks. Like things, you know, obviously this year may be a little rough, but in the long term, I just have faith that we'll get it going.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's tough. And I mean, like, I even see like Luke G just brings up, you know, we're not rebuilding, we are retooling. And I understand that. And it's like, I totally get that. However, in a way, I see it as both. It's kind of like a mixture in between of a retool rebuild. Some moments it feels like a rebuild. Other moments it is just a retooling. So I understand, you know, that. And I don't know, man. I just look at this team and it's exciting. Even though this year on a Sunday, we may get blown out by Baltimore. We will get blown out by a lot of teams. We got to look for the player development in these young guys.
Yeah. What was your record prediction? Do you do those? Have you done that this year yet?
So I was asked just a couple times, like while doing my own live streams, and I said that we will win 5 games to 7 games. 7 is the max, 5 being the minimum. I think we now watching after, and that was probably back in June. So like where we are now, shoot, bro, it could be worse. I'm going to stick with 5 at the moment until I see all these other rosters, including like, you know, our division really kind of pan out. But I'm going to say 5 wins. I'm going to give us 5 W's.
Yeah. No, I can see that. That's kind of where I was at too. I was between like the 5 to 7. I think I may have been caught, you know, sniffing some hopium fumes, and you know, 8 may have slipped in there one day. I don't remember. I can't confirm. I was doing that with Dion. I was like, Dion, did you do your math right now? I don't know if I said 8.
Yeah. That's funny, man. No, but you know what, dude? It's so hard because like as Lions fans, we are the guys, like we love our team. We love our team and we want to believe in that 8th win. And then when we're able to take a step back, like you said, you can kind of look and you're like, well, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, that receiver room. And the fact too that like it feels like we're scrambling to like, you know, fill the wide receiver positions, you know, that we're clearly not confident in what we're going to the season with. And
yes.
Yeah, that speaks more to like, hey, you know, we're not ready. It's not going to happen this year.
Absolutely.
My man Luke G asked if he could join. Do you mind if I send him the link?
Nah, dude.
All right, cool. I'm about to send him that because he's actually on that. I don't remember what Luke's record was. Was it 10-7? If anybody in the chat knows, like, make sure you comment. Let me know. I'm about to copy this link to him though.
I would love to hear. So if somebody thinks 10-7, I'd love to hear why.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to now, especially after the preseason, after this before you know the receivers.
Yeah,
I need to convince. I need to hear, you know, how high you are on that one, or drunk, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, even just like an over 500 record is just, I don't see it, but I'm open. Hey, and you know what? This is where like Jared Goff made that comment where he said like, hey, we're going to the playoffs. And there's so many aspects to that, so many elements to it where there's like the one angle where it's like, hey, you should say that as a leader. You should say that for the fans. You should say that for so many reasons. But I just look at Goff and he's a winner at heart. He wants it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. Because like I look at Tom Brady,
Yeah.
7 rings, everyone's GOAT. Skill wise, I couldn't tell you that he's the best at throwing the football. He's not the most accurate. He doesn't throw the furthest. He just kind of finds a way to get done. He just makes the right plays. And
Yes.
maybe Goff is the same guy. Maybe he doesn't look sexy, but he just makes the right plays. I'm hoping that's the scenario with him. And maybe we got lucky. But I wouldn't be opposed to moving on and getting a rookie contract here pretty soon either.
I understand that. I can feel that. That's where I'm excited to see what Goff can do this year, and hopefully it's enough where, man, maybe he's the guy. Maybe he's the guy for the long haul.
Yeah. So, Ryan's reaction to Goff is so sexy. That's so funny.
He's a California boy, so I get it.
Luke is a rebuild all day, calling it a retool when half of the starters and 90% plus of the front office and coaching staff is new. Just doesn't add up to me. Yeah, that's the other thing too, right? It's not only are these guys like young in terms of like inexperience, but they're also like in terms of grasping the NFL playbooks, week to week, stuff like that too. Like,
yeah,
they know what they're doing, man. They gave Dan Campbell a 7-year contract, 6-year contract,
6 year, 6 years.
Yeah. I think that should tell you enough. That should be the writing on the wall there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just my humble opinion. Let's hit this defense a little bit though. I did send Luke that invite, by the way. Luke, you want to check your Twitter inbox? Did we go over linebackers? We
have not hit the linebackers.
Okay, so we have Jamie Collins, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, who I liked what I saw out of Barnes a lot throughout.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Jalen Reeves-Maven, and then Anthony Pittman, a Wayne State grad. We talked about Wayne State a little bit before the live.
Yes. Yeah, Anthony Pittman kind of showed up. Actually, saw him a little bit in that Indianapolis Lions game last week, that preseason game. It was good to see Pittman in there. I look at the linebacker core, and I'm just like, praise God, Tavares gone. Just praise God, thank God. Needed to happen. From there, I really want to see more out of Jamie Collins. That's going to be, because like to me, we signed him. I forget what we signed him for, but it was a solid contract, a solid length of time, money. So like, I'm just looking to be able to glean some good play out of him for the amount of money that we spent. Derek Barnes, bright future.
Man, I love what I see at Derek Barnes. And I spoke with Scott Bischoff. He's a former NFL scout. And the way he packaged Barnes to me was everything you see in Micah Parsons, but in a smaller version, like I see it, Micah Parsons been tearing it up though in Dallas too. So maybe maybe it's a bit of a jump, but I mean, nonetheless, man, Derek Barnes, like what, 5th round, I think we got him.
Yes. 4th or 5th.
Looks to be a steal. I mean, he looks great, man. As a rookie, like usually I thought Jalen Reeves-Maven was going to be sweet at 1.2. He ended up just being kind of like a special teams guy. Derek Barnes looked like he'll actually start in the league.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And you know what? It's going to be really interesting with stand-up linebackers, stand-up edge rushers between Flowers and Okwara. Really excited about that. We saw Okwara last year, all that he was able to really accomplish and be like, hey, I'm the guy. I'm a guy here for you in Detroit. I am excited I'm excited to see Flowers and not him having pressure on him like he did last year.
Yeah, me too. And what up, Luke? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Luke, what's happening?
Not much. I didn't say 10 wins. I said 9-8.
9-8.
I said 9-8 with the ceiling being possibly 11 wins. I said, but at the absolute worst of the floor, I think 8-8 is 8 and 9 is the absolute worst that we go. Really? Yeah. So let's review in terms of like this team. Matt Patricia sucked, and he was terrible. There's no getting around it. We can't sugarcoat it. No. We can't paint that pig and say that it's a beauty model. He sucked, and somehow this team still pulled out 5 wins. And they did that on their way to having the 3rd worst defense in terms of points being given up in NFL history. The only 2 teams ahead of them were in 1960, and I think the other was like 1970 something. And then the only team behind them was themselves because they outdid themselves at 4. So you have the worst defense, and you go out the way with having a trash coach. And so now you got a guy that people care about. So I just basically put myself in the mindset of all the jobs I ever had where I actually liked the people in charge.
Yeah.
They got everything out of me. You wanted overtime? You got it. You needed somebody to stay over? Sure. And so now you have a new coach who comes in where people like him. And he has a similar story to the players he's adding to the roster. Nobody believes in you. They think you're an idiot or a meathead and so forth and so on. So when I went through each game, I looked at the different factors that help give the Lions an opportunity. Factor number one, in particular with the 49ers, they traveled from the West Coast to play us at 1 o'clock on the East Coast. That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough on them. Their pass game coordinator, RIP to him, but he left, right? He left to go take a job with the Jets, which later, obviously, he passed away due to a car accident. However, they lost their defensive coordinator. They just lost their linebacker coach. His staff is literally disappearing before his very eyes. They have a quarterback competition that is not even a competition. Their running back that they used to have a staple of running backs in the year when they went to the Super Bowl. That's not there no more. That stout defense that they had, yeah. But I think that them coming in to a Detroit team on opening day, after they just opened everything up from COVID, makes it an even more difficult challenge for them because the crowd is going to be ridiculous. In fact, I think every week I read about how there's a fight at some stadium, and it was preseason.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
You still have to hope you, man.
Listen, hey, I just see it the way I see it. Then I bounce over to the Green Bay Packers. And I looked at that game and I was like, oh man, Aaron Rodgers patty. He's always been patty. Yep. I mean, this guy literally had the most throwaways in the NFL because he couldn't stand Mike McCarthy. People were wide open and he still threw the damn ball away. Now he irritated with the general manager of the team. Oh, he's going to make it hard on him. He ain't going to make it look easy. And if he's going to do it, he often does that kind of stuff early on. But then they lost their left tackle, Battieri. And I know they're going to move Ellington over to that position. But here's the problem. You don't have enough information on this new Detroit Lions team and coaching staff to really, truly scheme up something for them. You don't know too much about these players. You don't know too much about these receivers. And they still got Kevin King. That's good news for us as Lions fans. I mean, he's going to be a turnstile. The Ravens is a team that, matter of fact, I think we play the Bears next. It's the Bears. I mean, I don't really think I deserve to give them an explanation, but they're the Bears.
You don't got to go through a whole schedule like you. So you just think these guys are underrated, the receivers and.
Yeah, I mean, I did a whole thing where I looked at the production and I said, did we really lose anything? And then so when I went through and I looked at the production of our receivers, and mine is added that I had Geronimo Ellison in there, which wasn't a lot of yards. I had Chad Henson in there, which wasn't a lot of yards, and I think he would have made the team had he not get hurt. But even took those yards out. I mean, even with those two people in there, and they only had like 100-some yards between the two of them, right? But even with that, even with those numbers in there, this receiving core had 1,496 yards compared to our previous receiving core from last year, which had 1,497. And so, to me, if you're telling me if I take those two receivers out and I add those production in, you're talking about a couple 100 yards being off from where our production was at with the inclusion of a run game. That's huge. That's really huge. A defense that I can tell you right now already is playing faster than it did under Matt Patricia.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the defense is going to be the biggest jump. I mean, I'm obviously starting from 32 in the league, but I think overall just be respectable, hopefully.
Yes.
And just look at how they're deploying the players, right? They were very strategic this preseason to lose on purpose. And I was very proud of them because there was no reason for you to do it. Everybody was wondering when were they going to have their dress rehearsal. Well, you can't have a dress rehearsal against backups with the Bills. You definitely don't need to have a dress rehearsal going up against the Steelers because we still got to play the Steelers. And why dare show them anything?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Now, You bump it over to the last team, the coach. They both agreed to just keep the evaluation process going. No need to dress rehearsal when they're not going to play any starters. So they lose and people panic. But what I saw was many of those people that was losing those games down the stretch, they're not going to be on this team. They're not going to be starters. And many of those people who performed in that stretch that showed that they didn't belong are going to be deployed thoroughly in this game. So I suspect that you're going to see a team that, what's the word I want to use? You're going to see a team that not only is going to catch people by surprise, but they're going to shock themselves at what their ability is. And the biggest thing about this team that I love is the unknown. I was listening to, you guys over there at Woodward Sports. I was listening to Drake argue with my man, what's his name? Neil.
Yeah.
And he was breaking down the second round picks and how he was like, hey, when they were here, they were dogs. We know, no, they wasn't here. And I'm like, there's talent here. Just because we don't know their name don't mean there's no talent here. We didn't know who DeAndre Levy was until he was DeAndre Levy. We didn't know who Kenny Galladay was until he was Kenny Galladay. People didn't know who Antonio Brown was until he was Antonio Brown. And the same goes for Stephon Diggs. This happens every year. It's not me putting hope in him. It's just me saying, listen, history says that this team should get more wins. And that's what I look at.
What kind of history are you looking at? But
so what I did was I went and I looked at the
Luke, one sec.
Just
because Jay's got to get going here soon. I did want to get his just fall through the rest of this roster real quick just before, because he had planned on going around like around 7:45 ish. So real quick, sorry, Luke, I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
Jay, the interior defensive line, real quick, if you may.
Yes.
We got Michael Brockers, Lee McNeil, Nick Williams, Deshaun Hand, Levi Onwuzurike, John Pennicini, and Kevin Strong. How are you feeling about that unit? And do you actually, now that we're looking at the Darren Fellows situation, only 2 tight ends, do you expecting those guys to get cut?
Very interesting. I love our D line right now. Yes, it's young when you look at Lee McNeil. Yes, it's young when you look at Onwuzurike. However, with the experience that Brockers brings, with the violence that he brings, and you add that with these young guys coming from McNeil, coming from Onwuzurike, like there's a lot of excitement there. And even kind of like, listening to Luke just talk right now, and you compare this team to last year's defense, you look at this D line in comparison. This D line already, without even an actual season game played, just looks better on paper, and it's exciting. I'm really excited about this. I'm excited about our defense under Aaron Glenn. It's going to be just loads different than under Corey Unlin. You know what I'm saying? So, when I look at this D-line, definitely excited to see our young guys and what they can learn from such an experienced vet like Brockers.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that one. Luke, actually, real quick, Luke, what do you think our strongest unit on defense will be?
Ironically, it's going to be the linebacking core. Ironically, if you just look at the fact that you're going to put certain people in certain positions to do it, but you actually have linebackers who are going to be able to fill the gaps, especially that Derek Burns. People wonder why I lost my damn head when I saw that we drafted him. Look at the preseason game. He's going to get to the quarterback if you send him.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
If the ball, man, he's just a dog.
Right.
Man.
He just has a knack for being in that arena. And to me, right now, the linebackers stand out big time. Now, can they add to it? Absolutely. But I mean, Pittman has stepped up and shown that he's valuable. And I don't think Jalen Reeves-Maybin is still safe. I think they're looking to add more people, and he can be another one of those guys exited up out of here.
Yeah.
Did we touch on the edge rushers at all?
We talked about Flowers just a wee bit. We talked about Flowers and Okwara, a little bit earlier. I think that's going to be a really great combination between the two of them. And I think having Flowers as a stand-up edge rusher is going to be leaps and bounds better than putting him on the line.
Yeah, I feel like too, both the Quar brothers. I mean, Julian.
Yes,
this preseason has looked like an athletic monster. And I think him standing up, rushing has been really beneficial to him.
Yeah, I think I'm most not skeptical, but I guess worried a little bit about Jeff Okudah, worried about our cornerbacks as a whole. And it's really not a huge worry. It's more over, I look at Okudah last year and I feel like he got really played. I mean, the poor guy had terrible coaching, terrible leadership, was thrown in against Aaron Rodgers week 2 and just got burnt, had no preseason prep, no train, just was thrown into the fire and a groin injury. It was the worst of the worst and the worst. And so I put out a video today where I kind of compared it saying it's obviously not his rookie season, but in a way it kind of feels like another rookie season for him, where last year was just a cluster. And this is his first attempt of actual real NFL play. So, I mean, obviously it's not like that, but that's kind of the best way that I can see it. And I'm really hoping that his development will be where it needs to be coming into the second year as one of our starting corners.
Yeah, and I hope so too. I'm Awarie, I think could be, solid. AJ Parker, a bit of a concern. I didn't like that we let go Ford. Yeah, how'd you feel about that, Jay? And then Luke.
You mean having 4 of them?
No, we let go of
letting go of Mike Ford. Yeah, that was a bummer. I really liked Mike Ford. I think he was a solid nickel corner. However, I'll say this: AJ Parker, man, guy showed up, guy grinded, and he really he put the brakes to Ford and showed that, to me, AJ Parker was the better of the two. Granted, I loved what I was seeing from Ford. I think AJ Parker really put it on and put on a show. Yeah.
Yeah. Iffy. I mean, verdict's still out. We haven't really seen
not much.
Yeah. And same with Bobby Price. I think I've liked what I've seen out of Bobby Price. Jerry Jacobs, I know very little about.
Jerry Jacobs has been, what I love is how much he's been gleaning from Okudah. He's just put his head down. He's been on the grind. He has asked Okudah everything, just been like a little puppy dog on his hip, learning all that he could coming into this year, and it's showing.
Yeah. And then we're finishing up here. I know we talked about D Marlowe a little bit earlier, but Tracy Walker, Will Harris, and CJ Moore, how you feeling about our safeties heading into the season?
Not worried about them at all. They look good. They look really good. Just kind of watching them, just seeing what we have in training camp, the way that they're able to scope out the field, the vision, all in all, under Aubrey Pleasant. I feel really good about the safeties. It's the corners, very specifically Jeff Okudah, that I'm like, I want to see where we're gonna be. And we're gonna know fairly early in the season how he has elevated or not so much elevated his game.
Yeah, I think all the physical traits are there with Okudah. It's just more you saw the bonehead play he made against the Steelers, and I still had some faith. It just he hasn't been making me look too good because I've been going. Luke, man, Jeff Okudah has been my guy. I've been defending him since day one. So.
I know you haven't. Even when I dropped that video, I saw the heat that I was crazy, but.
But I mean, all things considered, man, come on, he was literally thrown to the fire last year. Injured.
Yeah, but a lot of cornerbacks get thrown to the fire. Jalen Johnson for the Bears was tossed to the fire. I don't hear anybody giving him any excuses.
No, he wasn't tossed to the fire like my man Jeff Okudah was. Jeff Okudah was asked to be the number one.
That makes a big difference. I mean, I said he wasn't worth a top 10 pick, but I can tell you this right now, he's very much more improved this year. In his first year and all through his college film that I watched, he would be in press position and wouldn't even attempt to touch a person. Now, he put hands on you, and that was a huge difference that I noticed in him, just even in practice and in games. In his old film, he couldn't cover any route that went to the inside and across the field. He's at least in better trail position than he was before. He was just getting smoked. So I've seen these improvements out of him, and think that he's going to be much improved, but he's never going to live up to the 3rd overall pick hype that he was. And that's unfortunate.
That was a big pick. That was huge.
Yeah, it is. And at this point too, I want to get rid of the stamp of the 3rd overall pick and just root for him as a player, because it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way to look at it.
You know, it's just, you know, looking back at where he was selected, who cares? He's on the team now.
Yeah.
But Jay, I see times getting closer to 8, and I apologize.
Hey, you're good, man.
I appreciate the extra time you spent with us. You want to say any last words? You want to drop your channel and your social media handles?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, guys, I really appreciate it. First of all, Speak Easy for having me on. Luke G, was good to meet you finally. This was sweet. For everybody else,
sir.
Yeah, my name's Jay. I have a channel, Let's Talk Lions. It's all about the Detroit Lions, just covering everything, news, post-game, pre-game reviews, everything. Just have fun, talk about a boys in Honolulu blue. So that's it, man. Thanks for having me on, Speak Easy. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. And they say business and deals get done on a golf course. Jay and I made this happen over Connect 4.
That is true.
The greatest game of all time.
It was a great game.
Luke G, you know. Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
I appreciate you, brother.
All right. Good.
Luke, the linebacker core gonna be the best unit, bro. What? No.
No, I mean, listen. If you, I played linebacker, right? And so the thing that I like, okay, go back and just look at Levi Onwuzurike film against the Steelers and against the Colts. Just watch that film, and they couldn't move him. He had all kind of lanes. And I'm just watching Derek Burns just find lanes. And I'm like, we didn't even have Collins out there, a guy who should be more improved with the opportunity with more lanes. And I'm just thinking, yeah, the fact that they're going to use those guys as edge rushers, very similar to what the Green Bay Packers, what the Green Bay Packers did. Yeah, I see the linebacking core being much improved because I know that the Lions are not done adding talent to this team.
Yeah, and I think much like when Sue was here, Levy was a bad man, and Tug was a bad man too. But I think having Sue and those guys up front really helped those guys out and made them look a lot better than they. Well, no, those guys are great too. That was a good ass defense we had back in the day.
It was okay. It was good against the run because people wouldn't run against them.
Yeah.
In the past, it was like, okay.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
So, but we saw what a dominant defensive line can afford you, though. You know what I'm saying? They can make you look great, make everyone else look great. I should say, not great, but good. But that's the facts, man. Like that's if you, like I said, as I was listening to y'all talking, I'm like 5 wins. I'm like, we got better, improved coaching, and we got a lot of unknowns, but for some reason, people had more faith in our win totals with Matt Patricia than they do with Dan Campbell, and I can't wrap my head around it.
We haven't seen any of it in action. You know what I'm saying?
But we didn't see anything of Patricia in action, and then when we did see it, we still was screaming, "Give him 3 years."
Well, I mean, 1 year he just didn't even have, a starting caliber quarterback.
What year was that?
Though he proved to be fucking just an awful leader.
What year was that he ain't had no quarterback? That was the second year, right?
Yeah.
Right, but that first year told me everything I need to know about him. And they should have did the same thing the Cardinals did with Wilkes and said, "Yep, it's been fun."
I chalk it up to what my man GQ said when he was here. He said, he's a good coach, he's a bad leader. And that happens sometimes. You say you could have people that are smart and can do great things, but they just don't communicate. They can't lead, and that's very effective when you have a fucking team. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to lead when you're in charge of a team specifically.
I mean, I just don't understand how we can be Team Patricia as hard as the fan base was. And then and think that we're going to win games, but then you get a guy that they actually like, and we're going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more to do with what he's working with than it is him as a coach. On top of the fact that we still have to see him as a coach. Like, we like him and everything that he says, but we can't speak on everything that he does for certain yet. You know what I'm saying?
Not everything, but the fact that he was aware enough to know that these preseason games don't need to be showing much, that tells me a lot about his approach. And the fact that he as a player hasn't forgot his time in Detroit dealing with bad coaching and poor coaching and terrible coaching decisions, I can at least get behind him and support him. When Patricia first got there, I couldn't see what he brought to the table. I didn't see a guy that was likable. I didn't see a guy that was, relatable. Dan Campbell, I at least see that. And I just think that for us to have the same win total or worse, it just don't add up. It just don't. And I think a lot of people gonna have to backpedal on that prediction.
I think you'll be the one backpedaling, my friend.
If I got a backpedal, then hey, listen, if I got a backpedal, my legs and feet are ready to roll. But something tell me that my take gonna age really well.
The one thing is just like I will say the defense. I do expect them to come through and win some games for us, like without a doubt. I have a lot of faith in not winning games for us, but just not being what it was last year, man. I like our defensive line a lot. I like our edge rushers a lot, and I think that's a recipe for success, like we were talking about earlier. So I mean, I could definitely see 5 wins. Just this receiving core, I know isn't ready. Simply based off the fact of how they're scrambling after making the 53-man roster. You're making trades. Now we just cut a tight end and Darren Fells. Now we only have one tight end on the roster currently right now to grab another wide receiver who, hey, then again is improved. So it's like,
but they're not scrambling. They're not scrambling because of the tight end position. I mean, of the receiver position. That's not what the scramble is about. If you look at all of the receivers that they have right now, and I was going to talk about this today had I got off work on time, legitimately. But if you look at all of them, they have one thing in common. They have one thing in common, and that one thing is they are very good at running routes. It's not all about the speed; it's the route running. And even when I looked at the film for Cadero Hodge, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good route. Oh, that's a good route." And if you go back and you look at Baker Mayfield, he seemed to always find him because the guy was a route runner. And you go and you look at that, and you think everybody love to talk about how great Tom Brady is. And look at the receiving corps he had to play with. Them guys were route runners, and they were possession receivers. They wasn't all speed. They wasn't all power. They were route runners with the ability to catch the ball in all types of situations. Did I like the trade of Benson? No. I don't want to give up no draft capital because there's a lot of good receivers out there. But let's be honest. This team in particular, this receiving core is not far off. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to ball. He's going to ball. Cephas, he's a good receiver. Terrell Williams had 1 year where he was hurt and people lost their mind. He would be okay.
Like 2 of them.
One. You can't count last year.
I will say to your route running point though, and I haven't got to look at anything for Cadero, but when I put on the tape for Trinity Benson, boy, did I see some route running. Like, and he's a long body too. I can see his 40 time, but
4.4.
4.4. So yeah. Yep. So I mean, I liked real crisp route runs. I think we'll see the same out of Terrell Williams, especially being familiar with Anthony Lynn. I'm hoping obviously Amon-Ra becomes that, and even if he doesn't in the year 1, he's still going to be a dog. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be out there contesting. He's going to be a possession guy, I should say, at the receiving position. The reason why they're scrambling is because I say they're scrambling is because they are, though. You know what I'm saying? You don't make a trade like that. You don't then again, go down to one tight end to grab Cadero, who again is unproven. It's just scrambling a little bit.
But that's not. They're not the only team that does this tactic. A lot of teams do this tactic because they can't put certain players on waiver wires. They can't put Dean Marlowe on a waiver wire. They can't put Darren Fells on the waiver wire. You notice that they released them guys. I bet you won't hear they got signed by tomorrow. I bet you won't hear that. And if you go and look at what the Lions did, and this blew my mind when I looked at it, I said, look at the practice squad. They basically retained all of them dudes that they was like, y'all perform, we kept them.
Yeah, and I knew some of them, like especially those receivers. I knew that was going to happen. Those UDFAs, like Surgeon, and all them, like I knew that was going to happen. The ones, it's Is Reynolds on the practice squad? Because Jay said it, but I didn't see it. I don't remember seeing
Reynolds is on there.
He is? Okay, thank God. Bro.
Yeah.
I really feel like that kid's got something special.
Well, I think he's shown that he can play, right? Mm-hmm. Like we can say he can play.
Yeah.
But I think what the Lions is doing is what a lot of teams is doing. They're using their practice squad as a farming system. I think you can protect like 2 players. So, you know, if you're using it as a farming system, cool. In the past, I would see the Lions bring in all this talent, and our practice squad would be a bunch of people I never even heard of, with maybe 1 or 2 people that they actually brought in. He kept them all. Like literally, the only person that's really new on practice squad realistically is that damn quarterback. That's like the real thing about it. But this team is trying to win based on technique. And I think when you play fundamentally within technique, you can beat a lot of people. It's one of the reasons why Larry Fitzgerald ain't the fastest, but somehow he always seems to be wide the hell open. While Julian Edelman, who's not the fastest, always seems to be wide open. And it's because they have technique and route running. They're good with the route running. And so the Lions is saying, let me get route runners and guys who can catch the ball after running the route. That's it.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling that Reynolds was in trouble. I thought he would make the team, but I had a feeling he was in trouble. When somebody asked me the question, who's going to be running back 3, Jefferson or Reynolds? And I said, it's going to always be Jefferson because he's the better blocker. And according to Deuce Staley, you don't block, you don't play.
Well, the thing that like confused me though was like Godwin, because I doubt he's getting picked up on the waivers as a running back, or maybe even as like a safety. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but you know, Reynolds, I think, you know, he was more, you know, susceptible to that happening. What's your take on that actually, real quick? Is Godwin, because I missed the last preseason game. I don't know if he got a lot of PT. I'm unfamiliar with Godwin.
I think the reason Godwin made the team over Reynolds is because Godwin bring a similar skill set that Reynolds has, but Godwin also returns kicks and punts.
Okay.
And so now he has special team ability. I can line him up as a gunner on punt and have him go down the field. Or I can have him be on kickoff, or I can have him be the kick returner or the punt returner. So he brings that. But he also brings the flexibility for me to say, hey, if something better comes available, I can get rid of him and it don't cost me anything. Doesn't set me back one bit. Or let's say if I really just need to upgrade another position, I could just bring up Reynolds, tell Godwin it's been fun, and add the other player I need. There's options to it. So, but when you go through and you look at what they're doing and you really study it and pay attention to it, it's just about getting people who can fill multiple needs, yet don't require a lot of cost to maintain. And it's one of the reasons why I think when people see people like Mike Ford get cut, they're shocked. But I'm like, you allowed an undrafted free agent to come in here and not only stick with his receiver, come up and make a huge hit on Najee Harris. That ain't no small running back. Like he was not shying away from the contact. And I think when you see that and ask yourself the question, how long Mike Ford been here? Where was that energy at? You've had opportunities to sneak in here, and you couldn't even push past most of the people that we brought in. That's a problem.
And that's fair. And I heard you take on that too when you were speaking on the lineman who got let go.
Crosby. Man, he been here 3 years, bro.
Yeah.
3 years, and in 3 years we keep adding right tackles. It's one of the reasons when people was talking about how good Tavon Wilson was, I'm like, bro, he was in New England, and all they did was keep drafting freaking safeties. That should have told you something. So he had an opportunity to steal it. He was given a chance to get in the game and play, and he couldn't close the deal.
Now, where are you at with Will Harris this year? You still disappointed?
He looks much more improved.
I thought so too.
And I think it's because he's in his right position. They had him at the single high safety. Now they want to roll him in the box where he belongs. You get better production.
Yeah, he looks like you. I think you said earlier. This defense is flying around a bit more.
They look way faster.
He's the one that popped off the screen. It's like, oh, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And being in position. Sorry, I just hop back here and saw some comments. But yeah, man, the defense. I'm expecting to win more games for us in the offense. The one thing about the offense that disappointed me a little bit, and again, it is just preseason, and it looked like we just running like a lot of draws, is when Williams couldn't get going in game one, with our starters. Because I think Williams is a respectable running back. I don't think he's the greatest by any means, but I think he can do some damage if given a hole and really
You
didn't
talking about Jamal Williams?
yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna tell you something. Like, go back. If you get a chance to go back, just go back. YouTube Jamal Williams versus that. Look at Jamal Williams, and you tell me he was serious. It was cutback lanes to high heaven. It was lanes where he could have took off and went. He ran straight, never failed, and he did that on purpose. He did that on purpose.
Yes, that's what I said. Like, the one thing I see is it was a lot of draws. Those run plays, over and over.
Well, again, it's one of them things where I think, like I said, it's one of the things where I don't think he was trying to show too much. I think they are really buying into this belief that no one believes in you. You are the underdogs.
Oh yeah,
Vegas have you underdog all 17 games. I'm a meathead. You're idiots. Y'all don't know anything about football. You're a bunch of has-been. He's selling that story.
Well, the
And
thing is,
I think it's gonna happen.
It's all young guys too, and like I can see like the challenge, not the challenge, but the motivation of these young guys like being hungry. But at the same time, you need some experience, or you need like I just don't know if you're gonna be. I don't think you're gonna win 8 games as a roster this young. On top of like, I like the route running, like you said, but these guys like they aren't known. They weren't starters for like reasons too. But I mean, we'll see, man. We'll find out. It is what it is. Like,
do you feel like do you feel like this team is worse than the team that Patricia took over?
yes, the initial team that Patricia took over, like with Slay and Quinn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And if you think that this team is worse than that team that he initially took over, do you think that Matt Patricia got all that he could get out of the better team? And if the answer is no,
not. Yeah, no.
Right? If the answer is no, then the question really now goes over, but can you get everything out of this ragtag group of supposed nobodies with Dan Campbell? And I think the answer to that is yes. I seen things that Dan Campbell
I feel like it equals out though, because you're the worst team, better coach, boom. You're the better team, worst coach, boom. And that equals out is like under 500. You know what I'm saying? 5 wins.
Well, I mean, listen, if it go down like that, I'll be the first one to eat crow. You ain't gonna have me shy away from it. I'll eat the crow, and I'll be like, all right, I was wrong. I've lost my mind. Trust me not, right? Like, it's like I've been wrong before, right? But I have a lot of things that age really well. It is because of how I pay attention to small details. I've watched Dan Campbell allow his coaches to coach in such a way that I was like, that's different. I'm watching Deuce Staley after a big run. He hyping the running back, so good way to block. There you go, blah, 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 blah. And then it's in the game. He turns and says something to AG. Now tell your defense to do their job. And I'm like, oh, we doing this. Like they caught that on TV. And I'm like, oh, we doing this. That level of competition changes everything. It forces you to want to be great. It forces you to do things differently. And in my opinion, I think it sets you up in a position to be better. I just don't see how we get worse or not improve on that 5-win total that we had when that defense historically gave up a lot of points. We're not repeating that this year.
Now I see some comments coming back at the roster question. I see some people thought the Patricia roster was actually worse than the one now.
I see this comment from Steve. He says an anonymous coach said that the Lions' lack of talent made it hard to evaluate their team. Good. That's what we want them to think. And that's the reality. All these unknowns, like people, there's who do you come in a game plan for the Lions? You want to tell me you coming in a game plan for TJ Hawkinson? Fine. Go ahead and game plan for TJ Hawkinson. We're running the ball.
No, I agree. Like that's one of the first things I said, like off of Dan Campbell's press conference, is like he didn't come in and say, well, we're gonna run the football and it's gonna be our identity. No, he said we're gonna change week to week. And when I look at one of the guys who I consider one of the greatest, maybe the greatest coach of all time, and Bill Belichick, that team's game plan changed every single week. There was a game I remember that I think it was 2 week span. Tom Brady in one game threw for like, I want to say almost like 40 times. And the very next week, or maybe it was the week prior, I don't know in which order it went, but he only threw 12 in the other one. Both games victories. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's because like they truly don't have an identity. Now last year they kind of stuck the identity with Cam because this version of Cam is kind of limited in what he could do, but there just never was like a for certain identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's changed from week to week. Whether we use our tight ends or we use our running back, like whoever's gonna be the focal point. And that's exactly what you and Steve are both saying, and I agree. Like I love that aspect of it for sure. Quandre Diggs on that defense too, though. Funk. Who else
I just think that unknown is good.
Yeah,
it's 100% good. And when you have that level of unknown, you straight. That's all you need. You don't need too much to be known. Just keep it unknown.
Absolutely. When Barnes Pittman got the game together, they was making stuff happen. I'm so damn excited to see Barnes against some starting lineups to see if he can still produce the same. I mean, I think he will, as long as the defense, is filling their holes and covering the gaps. I think he'll be able to fly the ball and make plays, man.
I do too. Burns was the guy that Burns and Amon-Ra St. Brown, to me, I thought were the pieces that will change the fortunes of the offense and the defense. There's no way that you can cover. He's gonna be a problem. Brown gonna be a problem. Burns, you got to worry about too much. I think Enrique gonna be a problem because you can't move him, and if you can't move him and you can't move McNeil, linebackers gonna roam. Like they gonna roam, and they gonna roam hard, and they're gonna be excited to roam. And so when you get that opportunity, man, I'm telling you, you're gonna say to yourself, "Wow, look how our linebackers is tackling. Look how they got in the backfield. Look how they coming up on this tackle. Look how they making this play. Look how they making that play." All of that is because of one thing and one thing only: the D-line improvements. You muted Eazy. Yeah, you muted yourself.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I saw you had a passion too, and you muted yourself.
Yep. Damn. Well, I was saying my only concern with Enrique, from what I saw, and again, this could be just because it was plain Jane defense preseason coverage. I just hope he's not over aggressive, because I think back to myself, my freshman and sophomore year, I wanted to get the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Instead of truly doing my job on the play, which was like fill the gap, and so linebackers can clean up. I just wanted to chase the quarterback, and it seemed like he was a little bit over aggressive, over pursuing. But again, it could have been those draw plays you always see in preseason. It could have been the plain Jane defense where there's rush the quarterback. There wasn't a true gap responsibility on that play. But we shall see though.
This is the most vanilla offensive and defensive play calling I've seen from the Lions in a long time.
Yeah, and
that was by design. That was by design.
I do want to ask you this. So you think you think our strength would be running or passing?
Running.
And so with that, I expect a lot of 'cause I agree running, right? I expect more I formation or like goal line. You know what I'm saying? Like those tight groups, but only 2 tight ends if Fells ends up coming back on the roster. Isn't that a little weird to you?
No.
No.
Nope, because if I were again, if I could find examples across the league with other teams who succeeded in that area, I'm good. A lot of teams have done this before, whether they've lost those tight ends because of injury or because this is by design. They're not done with the roster, and so whether you got 2 tight ends or 3, it don't matter. We had 3 good tight ends under Patricia and never used them, so it didn't even matter to me. You got to be able to create the misdirection that we are going to run, and have people play that and kill them with the pass, and then have it reverse. So no, I don't think it's going to be a reason for cause for concern. Because it's only 2 tight ends. No, we'll be all right.
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, maybe it could be like who was the left tackle that we drafted as a tight end? He had become just like a straight offensive lineman, Michael something. What was his name? The Patriots ended up picking him up. I don't know. Maybe we had some more like tackles like that though. He was a big motherfucker. I'm trying to think of his name. It was Michael something.
Who you talking about on our team?
Yeah.
Mike Daniels?
He was. I think you drafted him as a tight end. We moved him to the offensive line, or maybe.
Oh, Mike. Was it? Was it?
I want to say Thomas, but I don't know that ain't it.
Shoot.
I can't think either, man. I'm gonna look actually real quick. Hold on, let's see this depth chart.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, bro. I know what you're talking about. You said we drafted him as a tight end and we moved him to the offensive line.
Yeah.
It was Michael.
I'm looking to see. Chat got us. Nope.
What the? Michael.
I'll find him.
Yeah, but I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Michael. It's gonna hit me. I swear to God, it's gonna hit me.
Jackson. No, I'm playing.
I want the Lions to pick up Bernardrick McKinney from Miami. You and me both.
No,
add him to the
Who was that? Was that linebacker?
A dog linebacker too. He got over there. He was never happy with the trade to Miami. He was never happy with the trade to Miami. And all of a sudden,
Where was he originally?
The Texans.
Oh, that dude.
See the Lions fan base. I remember they wanted him.
Michael Williams. That was it. Thank you, Steve-O.
That's his name. Damn it, Williams.
Yep.
He was from Alabama. Yeah, I could not think of that dude name for the long. Like it's Michael something.
Yeah.
But Seth Williams from Denver. Yeah, he's on a practice squad now. So they get a chance. Man, that dude 6'3" and can run. But what I like about him is he attacks the ball. The one thing, like I did a whole video on him and everything, but it's like he attacks the ball. But I also like the fact that he runs with a level of aggression. But I know we can't get every receiver, and it's unfortunate. If I wanted them to invest money, I would rather they continue to invest the money in that secondary because we need all kind of help.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes.
Right? Like what? What did that? what is that? Oh, hey, wait a minute. That snake's on the plane with Samuel, right?
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. I'm really curious to see what goes on with Darren Fells. If it's not Darren Fells, who else we're picking up? I just looked at the free agent list. Bunch of people I don't know. I saw some pass catchers, but pass catchers can't stay healthy. I'm just curious.
Well, what kind of tight end you want? And I'll tell you who out there. You want a blocking tight end? I can tell you who out there for that.
Yeah, I want a blocking tight end. I mean, I think that's going to suit our offense best, right?
I mean, elite. I mean, not really.
What kind of what tight ends you looking at? Is there who became available through cuts? Did someone become available through cuts, or was it just a move?
A lot of people like Thaddeus Moss, Randy Moss' son is available.
He's a rookie, right?
I want to say he is. I know he played at LSU.
Damn, he didn't make the team.
Nah, and apparently they claim Joe Burrow might be upset about it, but I don't know. Let me see. You got Caleb Wilson.
Where's he at? Seattle. Where's Caleb Wilson from?
He was on UCLA, I believe, and he went to the Eagles. He got released by the Eagles.
You know what? He probably is serviceable because I know the Eagles have they got a bunch of tight ends, serviceable tight ends.
Yeah, so you got a few out there. God, 'cause I looked at this list this morning. I was looking at all these other. Oh, another tight end. I think that if he got to be more than just a blocker, but if it's just about the blocking. If it's just about the blocking, you got.
I mean, obviously, preferably both, but I mean, blocking. I feel like it's like.
Yeah, but see, I don't see. That's what made T.J. Hockenson so special. He can do both. So you get that one shot. First of all, let me go back for a second. Shout out to you for going live because I've been missing the vintage Eazy shows. I'm like, where they at? I need them back. Where they at? You've been hiding in the rough. I'm trying to figure out where you've been.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get back to it. I appreciate you because I'd be so damn busy at work doing whatever the task is that day other than my daily duties that you how I like get like filled in on what the hell's going on. So I appreciate you.
It'd be all kind of stuff going on. And I was ready to do some stuff today. Man, I got home so late, it's ridiculous. I was gonna talk about our practice squad. I was gonna talk about the different moves because I know they was like, oh, they cut Darren Fells, and people started panicking. I told people yesterday the 2 kickers being cut was a smart move. I saw a video the other day of Bullock literally going for a extra point kick, and that mode went wide right. I was like, bruh, he scared me so much when I went to that family day practice, and I said, bruh, it ain't nobody in here. The crowd was loud. Maybe the wind scared them. I don't know. But that ball was coming up short, wide left, and wide right. And I was like, oh, we got a kicking problem.
Yeah. No, now I looked at Austin Seifert, whoever his name was. I see he's 31 to 38, but only one kick was over 50 yards, but better than Bullock. I wasn't there at the family day, so I couldn't see, but I know it must have been terrible because
oh man, it was horrible.
That was the first. I think that's the first thing you told me about that practice was him,
bruh. That's the first thing I noticed. It was so it was so short. I was like, bruh, nobody's coming at you. How is the ball this short? And when he missed it, he looked around. I'm like, we all see you. They may not be paying attention, but I'm watching. And that's the first thing I pointed out. Is, man, we need a kicker. Like I feel bad, Now
I know the Ravens cut somebody that like. A lot of people were hype on as a kicker. I thought we'd bring him in.
Verity, I think it is, or something like that.
To be honest with you,
listen, I'm not shooting down any kicking offers as long as they can kick the ball 50 yards or longer. We're in good shape. That's all I care about. Can you kick it 50 yards or longer consistently? Tom Brady got all the rings because Adam Vinatieri has a beautiful leg, and let's be honest.
I mean, Adam calves.
I'm just saying it works. So it says I was first to ask him, Eazy still looking bum. Woodley lost.
Yeah, I took fun to that one. Yeah. I don't know if these allergies hit me. If I got COVID in that arena, man, I think it's definitely allergies. Though, let me stop capping with the COVID stuff.
But you better stop playing. Look, we're gonna knock on all type of wood. We ain't putting that evil out there, man. Yeah, we ain't putting that evil out there. But yeah, I mean, I plan on going live tomorrow. If you can join me, that'll be great. If you can't, don't worry about it. I got a lot that I still got to cover. There's a lot of things that I still need to talk about. And I'm telling you, 100% that the fan base will start to, their ears will perk up once we beat the 49ers. Now, if they lose, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't care if they lose a close game. Unless it's been a game that they lost by a bad call, like that call that happened with the Saints and the Rams. If it's nothing like that, I'm going to be disappointed because to me, that's the game that set the tone. You got to win that game, and I believe they will.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't wait to be back in that damn stadium, especially after like my experience this past Sunday for the Logan Paul fight. Like, I can't wait to like just be acting a damn fool on third downs, not touchdowns, and seeing everybody not give a fuck about who's standing or sitting for a damn song and high fiving and singing forward down the field.
No.
I can't fucking wait. I can't wait.
Hey, you know the biggest part that I'm waiting to see? I'm waiting to see how many timeouts they call because they can't hear.
You said what?
I'm waiting to see how many timeouts. Bruh, it's gonna be hard. I remember that the Lions was going against this is a game where the Lions came back and won, where Stafford jumped over the line. He said he's gonna spike it, and he jumped over the line, right? I'm at the game, I'm watching it. It was so loud in there, dude. Like, it was so loud in there. They called so many timeouts because they literally could not hear. And I walked away with a headache, bro. That's how loud it got. Now, we've been out of football stadiums for over a year, and now they serving alcohol, and you can go back. Oh, my God. It's going to be ridiculous. Punches going to be thrown and everything.
I believe it, man. I got to send you this video. I was at the from Sunday. I went to go film a fight. I'm not going to lie. I went to record the hallway fight, and they bumped into me and like knocked my phone down. I almost dropped it. So then I broke it up. It's like all on tape though too. Can you see me being a jackass like trying to record from like, hey, stop. Like,
dude, look. I was sitting here because I be watching the Woodward sports stuff. And certain people, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Certain people I be listening to, I be like, what did he just say? Like it's one dude, I ain't gonna name him. He too emotional when it comes to the Lions. Like, he get way too emotional. I'm like, you gotta take that part of it out.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But he get emotional. But they was having a conversation, and they was talking about like why fans should temper their expectations for this season. And his only reason is because this is what the Lions do. I was like, okay. And I bring that up because I'm sitting up here thinking about the work that you do and all the stuff that you do with them. And I be watching when you be live. And I'd be like, at least he's neutral. At least it's not the emotional side of it, man. It's not the side of it where it's like, they burned me before. Because you was one of Patricia's biggest supporters. And when it came down,
I was like
a supporter.
I was down for him to have a third year. I wasn't ready to kick
right. That's definitely a supporter. A guy who goes 9-22-1 and you like, give him a third year. That's support. You cannot deny that. That's support. That's like your girl cheating on you like 800 times with 5,000 men, and you like, I wasn't okay with her cheating. I just wanted to let her know that I'm gonna be there for it. Nope, you were okay with it.
I hate your analogies, bro.
You was okay with it. I'm just saying, it's support. Speaking of which, let me ask you a question because I we don't get to do too much football talk. Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Who was the player right now? The player right now who has the biggest X factor for this team's success for winning or losing? Not named Jared Goff, because I don't believe quarterbacks hold that power.
I want to say whoever ends up starting between Onwuzurike or McNeil. Just because of everything that we were speaking on earlier. And I truly feel like both those guys can be that piece. Maybe not as much McNeil, just because of the size. And maybe I sound stupid in saying that because Aaron Donald is not really the largest human being. But I just feel like, again, when it comes to filling the gap, to allow the linebackers to make, leave it on them to make their plays, and just rushing the quarterback in itself too. Like if you're causing a double team, we're letting Aquar and Flowers get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, just that interior line can open up so much shit for everybody else. Who's it for you?
Sewell.
Sewell?
Yeah, it has to be Sewell, and I'll tell you why. We have, if you look at all the years when we had an offensive line and the strongest part was our left side, we couldn't run right, and teams were just like, okay, they can't go this way, so let's kill them on this side. He has to succeed. He has to. It's not just for the quarterback's sake, for the run game's sake. Because the moment you become one-dimensional in football, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead in the water. That's why for all the hype they give Derrick Henry, they stayed with him too long, because when it came time to the playoffs and the quarterback had to now make a bunch of plays, and people was like, yeah, let's stop the run. He can do what he wants. Stop the run, this game is over. You talk about a team that had A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, I forgot the other dude name. I'm drawing a blank on his name. They had a receiving core. They had a tight end, and wasn't doing anything.
A.J. Brown got down.
No. He got down, but think about it. That team didn't go as far as they could have went because teams didn't come into the game saying, oh, we got to kill the offense. No, they came to the game and said, stop the run.
Who knocked them out of the playoffs? Do you remember? Ravens. I think it was the Ravens.
The Ravens, yep. They couldn't run.
Yeah, I don't remember. So Eazy isn't easy.
At him, I would be fire.
He said at him.
How you pronounce it?
Adam, but you can say Adam. That's funny. I like it that way better.
Oh, my bad. Okay, Adam. I was like, why has it got an H in there? The silent
is an easy pick, true, but easy. Who else will wish us? Some people say Swift. Levi.
Yeah.
Another Sewell. See, K Strong. I know you said Kevin Strong. He had good preseasons prior. I was never too familiar with them or him in general, to be honest with you, but I like what I seen out of him too.
He do, bro. He always have good preseasons, and then when the regular season come, it's spotty. But to be in fairness, it could just be who was coaching him, and that's one of the things that Drake was bringing up. And I was like, somebody finally said it. Was it coaching or was it the players? Because we lost a lot of it. We get a bad stick for second round picks, but is it coaching or was it players? I'm like, no, I think it was coaching. Because they definitely go somewhere else and perform. Why is that?
Facts.
I mean, it took us forever to put in Cliff Averill. Then when we finally put him in, he balled out. As soon as he got a chance to go, he ran. Why? Because he was overlooked. DeAndre Levy took us forever to get him to start and roll. By the time we did it, he was all hype. And then after he had found and discovered life like J. Cole. And then guess what? Now he on the wing of airplanes. This is the kind of stuff that's happening.
Yeah. I remember DeAndre Levy's for when I used to play Madden. He was like, you used to have him rated like a 50. I was like, bro, this dude can't be that bad. Ended up being, I think it was 89, 90 by the time when he blossomed. Not that matters, but
well, let me ask you another question. I want to switch gears one more time, and then you can boot me off because I ain't want to be on too long. But because brother got to get up early. It's just been a rough week. Let me ask you this question right here. What did you say your final record for this team was again? Like your final prediction?
I'm gonna say. I mean, I like anything between 5 and 7.
Okay, 5 and 7. Okay, anywhere in that area. All right. Is your confidence higher on Dan Campbell, Anthony Lynn, or Aaron Glenn? Like, who do you have more confidence in?
Anthony Lynn.
If that's who you have your confidence in, then you're gonna get your 7 or more wins.
Yeah, I like Anthony Lynn a lot. I wanted him as a head coach, and so I was extremely happy when we got him at least as an offensive coordinator.
Well, I think we got him at the right position as the offensive coordinator. Like I said, Rob Marinelli, head coach, sucked. Defensive coordinator, he was good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like same thing with Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan's his name. When he was a head coach, he was like, oh, he cool. But back to a coordinator, oh, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leslie Frazier, head coach, horrible. Horrible, you know. But Court, bro, he wasn't good. He wasn't even good as a defensive coordinator, and that's why I was weary of him. And I really got weary of him when he didn't start Glover Quinn in favor of Tavon Wilson. I was done, bro. I was done. I was like, what? I'm like you don't see this dude getting beat, and you gonna leave him in? Come on, now. Come on. Then they put GQ in, and things started getting a little bit more interesting. I was like, I can't.
What do you think our first win will be? San Francisco off rip?
Yep.
Okay.
They don't have enough. They don't have enough film on us. What did they learn from preseason?
I think they'll just be too hard to stop.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do good?
Run the damn ball.
With who?
Raheem Morris. Everyone.
Okay.
Raheem Morris, a dog.
Okay.
You know you'd love to have him.
You mean Morissette, right? Anything Morissette?
Yeah. Raheem Morissette.
Raheem Morris is the guy that was the coach for the Bucks, and now it's the defensive coordinator or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I was high on him as a coach. I thought he was gonna be good.
I wasn't.
I think honestly my low key just been. Not mine. I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, his problem with me was he was just too young. Right place, wrong time. Yeah. But you think they're going to be able to run the ball on us?
Yeah, they run the ball on everyone. I look at them too. Like they went down like half staff last year, like where they're missing like so much of their damn roster, and still, finished respectable. I think better record than us, honestly. I think if I'm not mistaken. That's with losing Kittle. That's with losing multiple. They had to start Brandon Ayuk, which ended up being a damn good. Look, Kyle Shanahan's a great offensive mind. Like he's phenomenal. I think if I'm being completely honest, I think he's the best offensive mind in the game right now. I mean, you could maybe say Andy Reid, but I mean, I look at the pieces he has to like complement all that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my man Shanahan's done it everywhere with anyone.
But is that as a head coach or a coordinator?
As a head coach too, though. Here in San Fran. Okay. I don't think Jimmy G's nothing special.
Okay. I think the coordinator they had was special. The defensive coordinator that they lost, he was special.
But we've seen Shanahan have success before. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, even before joining.
Yeah, but the offensive success that they had was on the backs of the defense.
And then the other thing I'll say too to the defensive coordinator, that man Nick Bosa is a dog. That's a bad man.
Is he gonna play week 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I want him to. I don't want no excuses when we beat them. None. I want people to look at them and be like, damn, that really happened. Yes, it did. That's what I want to see.
I might be crazy saying that. I think our first win might come against the Ravens.
Nah. The Ravens would probably be like our second or third win.
I love you, Luke.
I know.
You got
nah, listen. It's a good strand, but I didn't smoke any of it today. Don't worry about it.
Go Lions. You can help guard easier than a tackle. Hey, look, man. I appreciate you hopping on, man. I'm glad actually, I got you and Lions talk on the same stream. That's crazy.
Oh man, listen.
You twos are like goats of the game right now.
I wish I was a goat, man. Like I said, I talk football in perspectives based on objectivity, and that's one reason why, like I said, when I see like certain people, they be doing that emotional stuff. I'm like, dude, this is football. Take the emotional side of it out, and just look at the objective part of it. Ask yourself, where does this puzzle piece go? When you find that puzzle piece, place it and sit back and watch. I'm not gonna act like Trinity Benson is this great catch or whatever. But the one thing he shares with everybody else is that route running. And so when you have that, then all I have to do is just simply look at it and say, all right, you got route running. Let me see what you can do. Because like I said, nobody knew who a lot of these people were until they played.
Yeah, I think Trinity Benson, everything that I heard, so I reached out to a couple of Broncos fans, and they're actually like really high on him. It's just they got such a great receiving room that he wouldn't be able to make the damn team.
That's the reason why I'm mad at the Lions traded for him. But the Lions probably thought that he was going to get picked up, and I don't think he was. I think you would have got him in free agency.
Adam always, you need a true one receiver. 49ers don't have one. Lions are pretty much almost the same team as hell no. You don't need a true number one receiver. Like what? There's been teams without true number one receivers to win. That's some of the look at all the teams Tom Brady won with.
Pretty much.
That's a lie. That's a goddamn lie. You look at the best receivers in the league, half of them didn't make the playoffs. Don't listen to that, man.
There's a statistic that they had there where they was talking about like the top receivers and how many Super Bowls they've been to or won, and them numbers was scary.
Yeah, man. Don't even let people trick you like that. That's not facts at all.
But I do agree with him on this.
Put to you this way: the Niners were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Ooh.
You said what now?
What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying I would agree with him on this that the Lions and 49ers are pretty much almost the same team. And if you look at it, you talk about quarterbacks that most people want to downplay, Goff and Jimmy Garoppolo. Top receiver. You want to tell me Deebo Samuels, is it?
I like Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, see, he's not gonna get it. he's not the answer. I mean, I like him, but he ain't the answer. He ain't the answer.
I said there's definitely two different coaches too. I mean, hey, we're yet to know. We don't know yet. But Luke, I appreciate you tapping in. My man Nevin, the same group, the same scheme. What's gonna be different besides the TC? Yeah, fair point, Nevin. Let me put that on for people to see. I will be live again tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be doing my fantasy draft. I'm gonna try to get Pilar or Scott on beforehand.
My apologies, man. I got a boss up here. I'm getting a mini phone call, and that tell me something is going on. So let me get up out of here, man. Appreciate you for having me come on and rocking with you, man. I'm gonna get you on some way. All right, man. We're gonna do a show together. I gotta get you on one of the shows with me, so I can because I be needing you to be like, Luke, you crazy. I be needed, but I hit you back, bro.
All right, man. It's good talking to you.
100%.
It's not the same team. Easy. I don't know what the hell we talking about at this point, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna agree. You're right. No, I really am curious. Actually, we're talking about. Oh, it's not the same Super Bowl team. Damn, there really is, man. What do you mean? George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Jimmy Garoppolo. If not an upgrade at quarterback and Trey Lance, I think all the same running backs down there other than Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde isn't there, but you saw that. How many running backs they lost that year, and they still went to the Super Bowl? Or actually, how many running backs they lost last year and still put up more numbers than us? Easy, I got a league with some spots open. You want a code? Let me know, Nevin. Message me what platform it's on. I might do it. If not, you should hop on FanDuel, DraftKings. All right, real quick. I'll do this before I hop off. Actually, I kind of want to look at the 49ers roster. So, because y'all talking a little crazy in here. Omar tripping a little bit, but we'll see. See 2020 roster. Look at the roster now. Fuck it. Did they name who's going to start for them? If it's going to be Lance or Garoppolo yet? I don't think they did. Let's check this out real quick. Because the other thing too, like we have completely unproven wide receivers other than maybe Terrell Williams. They have wide receivers who've done like Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. I'm not so high on, but Brandon Ayuk I think is out cold. Mohamed Sanu is very serviceable. Travis Benjamin's been in the league for a while. George Kittle, you could say George Kittle and Hawkinson cancel each other out. Okay, I wouldn't argue that. Wayne Gallman, I like Wayne Gallman a lot at the running back position. Raheem Mostert's a beast. He actually, speaking of my fantasy tomorrow, I'll make sure to get him. I'm writing that down actually. Trent Williams, left tackle, Laken Tomlinson. How crazy, man. He used to be on our team. Let's find this defense. Eric Armstead, D Ford as the backup. Come on, man. Zach Kerr, Javon Kinlaw, beast. Nick Bosa, beast. Drake Greenlaw, unfamiliar. Fred Warner, solid as hell. Sam Ibakam, unfamiliar. Jason Verrett, solid-ass cornerback. Emmanuel Mosley, solid-ass cornerback. Quan Williams, solid-ass cornerback. Jimmy Ward, solid-ass safety. Come on, y'all. The Niners are a good team, man. They have a defensive coordinator, sure, but Brandon Shanahan's still there. Me and Eazy would laugh if Trey Lance started. We want to carve this up. Man, I don't know if I'll be laughing, Funk. I might be crying, man. Gallman got cut. What? Sorry for yelling to the mic. Wow, that's crazy. Is Cephas unproven to me? Yeah. Yeah, he is. I mean, like, I can't. No, yeah, he's definitely unproven. I mean, like, if you want me to put a stamp on him, I wouldn't say he's a great or good receiver. You know what I'm saying? He's just a guy. All due respect to him. Hope he's not watching this. But, I mean, hey, you're going to go out there and prove it this year, man. Key piece from the 49ers Super Bowl defense that's missing is Buckner. He was a guy that gave them inside pass rush and never replaced him. Russell Wilson, damn near won me my league last year. Russell Wilson's a beast. Kinlaw's a beast. He's borderline bust of last season. Never forget the game against Darnold. Hey, guys, I will be back live tomorrow. Is that proper English? I always say that all the time. I'll be back live. I'll be live again tomorrow at 8 p.m. I'll maybe try to go live a little bit earlier just to get some perspective from my man Scott Bischoff. You guys, if you heard him before, he's a former NFL scout, but he's also NFL or football fantasy beast. Because, I mean, the guy's a former NFL scout. Like, he's probably a damn good fantasy scout too, huh? So hopefully I'll get him on. I'm going to shoot him a text and see what he says. Maybe might even do it later tonight. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys for tapping. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and help me draft a good team tomorrow. Let's get it together. I'm going to watch some film on Kinlaw. I'm watching film on the 49ers tonight. Why not? I appreciate you guys. Let me press. I got a new intro. I'm going to play it. That's how I'll exit this show.
Easy, speak easy, baby.
It's easy, baby.
That's easy, baby.
It's easy, baby.
It's easy, baby.
It's easy, baby.